Hi, I'm Peter Donegan, and I'm here to announce my endorsement of Zager guitars. But before I get into that, please hit like and subscribe to the channel if you want to be kept up to date with more future videos. Like I said, I'm Peter, and this in my hand here is a Zager ZAD80CE, I should say, which is ZAD80CE. And I'll get to explaining that in just a moment. I mean, when you think of premium built guitars, you think of Martin, you think of Gibson, you think of Taylor, and quite rightly so. But one thing that you might not know is Zager guitars are of a very similar, if not the same quality of guitar, and they're absolutely fantastic. I'm going to explain to you all about this particular model now. And this is a it's a Rosewood back and sides. It's a dreadnought, as you can see, but instead of having the spruce top, this has a cedar top, which for those of you who don't know, it has that lovely warmth to it, like an aged spruce top, but without too much projection. So the reason why I chose this particular guitar is because without that projection, it's actually I get a little bit less of a feedback issue on stage. So it's just it's a personal thing, but it has a beautiful tone without being quite so much, you know, of a cannon. Now, this particular model retails roughly just above the $2,000 mark, about $2,095, I think, is the current pricing. I will include links to the Zager website and a full description of other things right in the description just below there, and you can hit that at any time. The construction of this is wonderful. It's got rosewood back and sides, you know, much like, you know, your Martin D28s, for instance. And like I said, has the cedar top on it with a lovely white binding and beautiful, beautiful inlay around here, the abalone inlay, which is absolutely fantastic. Full disclosure before I go any further, Zager guitars do not come with a pick guard. They do come with one in the case which you can put on if you feel like it. This particular pick guard here is something that I put on myself. It's my own little bit of uniqueness, and that's another thing I actually kind of liked, because I know there are guitarists out there who prefer not to have a pick guard because they feel it's going to affect the sound. I am not one of those, but that is purely because my strumming style means I am going to break a hole through this and it will start looking rather like Willie Nelson's trigger. So I bought this online just because I thought it was cool. So that does not come on the guitar. But just so you know, you got a rosewood fingerboard, you have a rosewood saddle and everything here with bone, hand cut little saddle there as well, and also for the nut right at the top of the fingerboard as well. It's beautiful. The whole thing is hand done, and Zager guitars themselves are a family-run business out of Lincoln, Nebraska, and it is owned by Denny Zager and Denny Jr., who I've had the pleasure of speaking to, and they're wonderful people. And they hand make these to order, and I mean, it's just fantastic. Ever since I started playing it, it's become my #1 gigging guitar. Now, to continue with the tech spec on this, like I said, rosewood back and sides, you've got cedar top, you've got rosewood fingerboard and bridge with the bone saddle and nut, and that is all hand cut. But you also have, Zager have designed their own hand scalloped unique bracing system, which I'm going to go more into a little bit because that actually affects what they call their easy play system, and I will explain that in just a minute, including links in the description to their own explanations. You even have these lovely gold Grosvenor tuners, which, for those of you who don't know, I mean, Grosvenor tuners are something that you would normally upgrade to on your guitar, but they come as standard on these, which is absolutely lovely. And you've also got, as well as these abalone inlays around the outside of the guitar, along the binding, you've got it along the sound hole, as you can see here, and beautiful little, I don't know how to call them, diamond pattern, cut in diamond patterns all the way down the fretboard with a lovely Z down the bottom here, obviously for Zager guitars. And a nice little touch is on the back, which I don't think you can see here, but we'll have a close-up shot, so maybe we'll zoom into that. Denny Sr. signs the back of these guitars here, so you've got a little signature on there for you as well. So moving on to the Easy Play system. The Easy Play system, when I first heard about it, I was a little bit, not suspicious is not the right word, but just I didn't fully believe it until I had this guitar in my hands, and now I realize how real it is. I I've had people ask me, and I've seen even, comments online from people asking, isn't that just a really good setup? And part of the answer is yes, but to aid with that setup and to make it fully unique, it's a combination of things, from the scallop bracing, which they have inside, to the unique nut width, which leaves for the guitar to actually be slightly tighter spacing between the strings here at the top of the top of the neck here, as opposed to further down the fretboard, so that it's not actually even. And what that does is it means that your barring is effortless all the way down the guitar. And it really is. You don't have to press that hard. And I don't get string fatigue. And I do have quite weak fingers, despite actually being a piano player. So anyway, I've actually found this to be a wonderfully comfortable guitar for that reason. And now, all of that I just mentioned with that setup means that what you can do is get the string height as close to the frets as possible without the buzzing. And that's what they've done here. So it's a beautifully light setup. Now over to the pickup system. Now this is something that originally I wasn't a fan of, because I do not normally like, like when you get your Takaminis, for instance, and some of the Taylors as well, where the pickup system and the controls are all, cut into the wood of the guitar. I've never been a fan of that because I prefer it to be all nice and clean. That's a personal thing. But after plugging this in and having a go with the pickup system that is in this guitar, which is the Fishman Aura Pro preamp system, I've changed my mind. Because this is such a brilliant thing. You can get the actual pedals, which you can plug any of your guitars in, which has a lovely imaging system, feedback blocker, EQ and everything, but it's actually all in here. It's fantastic. You can blend in, you can download, plug this into your computer, download different images for Taylor guitars, Martin guitars, Guild, Gibsons, whatever it is you're looking for, even with different microphone sounds in front of them. So it's all EQ'd, and you can blend that in while you're plugged in, and this guitar can sound unique to you, but it can also sound, and this is the way I like it, kind of sounds the way it would if you'd mic'd the guitar up in a studio setting. So, you are getting such a rich tone out of this guitar, even if it's just plugged in at a festival. It really does sound awesome. Now, these pickups on their own are around $800 on their own, and this comes in, already included in this ZAD80CE. Obviously the CE stands for the cutaway electric, and it's the electric part that I'm describing to you now. I will put more links into the description directly to Fishman's pickup system for this, so you can read a bit more about it. But it is really, really fantastic, and it also includes the feedback blocker and the phase switch here. So whenever I've started to get any little bit of feedback on stage, I can hold that down. It's not cutting out the sound of the guitar, and it finds the frequency for me, cuts it out, and the gig keeps going. It's really, really wonderful. So one last thing before I go and give you a full demonstration of how this guitar sounds, is their low price, high quality promise from Zager guitars. It's phenomenal. Now, a lot of people wonder, well, if it's so high quality and it's all hand built, how come it's so affordable? And why can't I find it in stores? Well, that really answers the question. They're so low in price in comparison to the equal quality guitars with your Gibsons, with your Martins, with your Taylors, because they are sold directly from the factory by Denny and Denny Jr. directly to you, the artist. And that way they're cutting out the middleman, which cuts out a substantial amount of the price, obviously. And the other thing that I need to include in this with this is their 100% money back guarantee. Because you think, well, okay, I'm buying this guitar, but I have no idea if I'm going to like how it feels, because obviously guitars, like any instrument, while this might be a wonderful guitar for me, it might not be for you. So if you buy this, rest assured, if it comes to you, you start playing it, and for whatever reason you don't like it, there's a 100% money back guarantee where you can call them up, email them, and arrange for it to be sent back, and they will send it back, postage all paid for, and you will get your money back. The other thing is the lifetime warranty, which is fantastic. And I'll have to read a quote for you. And this is from Denny Zager. And they say, "Our warranty is simple. Lifetime on all guitars. A quality guitar should be made to last a lifetime, and if it doesn't, it wasn't a quality guitar to begin with. So they're really putting their money where their mouth is with that warranty. In the meantime, I'm going to play this for you and you can hear how it sounds. But before you go and before you listen to it, please check around the channel, have a look at some other videos. Please share this if you think this is going to help some other people, and hit like if you like it so you'll be introduced by YouTube to some similar videos. All right, and in the meantime, I'm Peter Donegan, and thank you very much.